All right, buckle up, everyone, because we're diving headfirst into one of the most anticipated matches of the Premier League season. Arsenal versus Chelsea at the Emirates.
It's more than just a London derby.
Oh, absolutely. This one has massive top four implications for both squads.
And we're here at Tips Moto to break it all down.
Exactly. We've got the latest team news, potential lineups, and of course, we've got those juicy Tips Moto insights. You can't find those just anywhere.
We live and breathe the data, we've crunched the numbers, looked at all the trends, and we are so ready to unpack this tactical battle for you.
So let's set the stage. Arsenal, they started the season like a house on fire, but they've hit a bit of a rough patch lately.
Yeah, a bit. They've slipped 15 points behind Liverpool, the league leaders, and they've only pulled out 2 wins in their last 7 matches. That's across all competitions, too.
That's rough. Definitely not the form you want going into a huge derby like this. What's been going on with them?
Their attack has been misfiring, that's for sure.
Yeah, they really struggled to find the back of the net in that draw with Manchester United.
Yeah.
And then that loss to West Ham. Talk about frustrating.
Oof, yeah.
And speaking of frustrating, Chelsea fans know all about that this season. Up and down, up and down.
Yeah, they've won 4 straight matches, which sounds great on paper, but...
There's always a but.
Exactly. Those wins have been really, really narrow. It makes you wonder if they can keep it up, you know?
It does raise some questions about their consistency. And let's not forget about their away form, which has been, well, how do we put this nicely?
Dreadful.
Yeah, dreadful pretty much sums it up. 3 straight away losses in the Premier League, and they haven't won on the road in 6 tries. Yikes.
It's definitely a trend worth watching, especially going up against an Arsenal squad that's historically been dominant at the Emirates.
They've never lost back-to-back home London derbies there.
That Emirates is like their fortress.
It really is. But here's where things get really interesting. Despite Chelsea's struggles, they've actually had a pretty decent record against Arsenal recently.
They have.
Wait, really? I thought Arsenal had their number.
Not quite. Chelsea actually hasn't lost to them in the league since August 2021, so there's a bit of a psychological edge there that we can't ignore.
Okay, so we've got 2 teams coming in with some baggage, and then you add another layer of complexity with all the injuries.
Yeah, the injury list is looking pretty long for both sides. Arsenal's got Tomiyasu, Saka, Havertz, and Jesus all out with injuries.
That's a huge chunk of their attacking power gone right there.
It is, and to make matters even worse, their new signing, Sterling, isn't eligible for this match.
So the question is, who's going to step up for Arsenal?
Well, some good news there. Gabriel Martinelli is likely back from injury, which is a big boost for their attack.
Yeah, he's been on fire this season when he's healthy. And speaking of potential game changers, let's talk about young Ethan Nwaneri.
Oh, yes. If he gets some playing time, he could become the youngest ever scorer in a London derby.
Our supercomputer's been working overtime analyzing his potential impact, that's for sure.
Now that would be a story.
It would. Okay, let's flip the script. What's the injury situation looking like for Chelsea?
Not much better, unfortunately. Jackson, Gu, Madueke, and Kellyman are all sidelined.
Wow, okay.
And on top of that, Mudryk is suspended for the match.
So both managers are going to have to pull some rabbits out of their hats to come up with their starting 11s.
It's going to get creative, for sure. We're really curious to see if Chelsea deploys Reece James in midfield. Could be a tactical curveball that Arteta doesn't see coming.
That's a really good point. All right, so let's actually dive into those potential starting lineups. That's where the real tactical battle starts to take shape. For Arsenal, with Raya probably in goal, the back 4 could be Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Lewis Kelly.
And in the midfield, I think we'll see that super strong trio of Ødegaard, Partey, and Rice.
Yeah, they're a real force in the middle of the pitch.
Talk about an engine room.
And if Martinelli is fit, as we've said, I think he'll lead the attack with Nwaneri and Trossard.
I mean, Arteta is known for pulling out some surprises, so who knows?
Oh, he always keeps us guessing. Okay, what about Chelsea?
With Sanchez between the posts, I'd say their defense will be James, Fofana, Colwell, and Cucurella.
It's a strong back line. Who's going to be running things in the midfield and attack?
I'm thinking Caicedo and Fernández will be pulling the strings in midfield, with Sancho, Palmer, and Nkunku maybe operating a bit further forward.
And up front?
Leading the attack. I'm going to say Neto will get the nod, but that's just our best guess based on what we know right now, and our models will have the most up-to-date info on our platform, of course.
Of course. So we've got all the team news, we've got potential lineups, and we've got a good sense of the tactical battle that's about to unfold.
But the million-dollar question is, Who's going to come out on top?
Well, that's where those Tips Moto insights come in.
You know it.
And that's what we'll be diving into next. Stick around.
Okay, so let's really get into it now. Time for the Tips Moto insights. These are the things that'll help you make those smart betting decisions.
Our listeners, they really love those little data nuggets you throw out there.
Well, I think they'll love these. First off, we've been looking at this, and we think there's a big opportunity for Chelsea to exploit some of Arsenal's weaknesses, especially when it comes to set pieces.
Yeah, Arsenal's defense on set pieces, it hasn't been great this season, has it? They've given up way too many goals from corners and free kicks.
In Chelsea, they have the guys who can make them pay for that. Players like Reece James and Wesley Fofana, they're threats in the air.
We've looked at the numbers, and Chelsea's conversion rate on set pieces, it's much higher than the league average. If they can get some good deliveries into the box, they could really cause some problems for that Arsenal defense.
Definitely something to watch. But it's not just set pieces we're looking at. The midfield battle, that could be huge in this match.
Arsenal's midfield, with Ødegaard, Partey, and Rice, it's one of the best in the league. They can control the pace of the game, dictate the flow, all that.
Absolutely. And our analysis shows that if Arsenal can establish control in the midfield, they'll limit what Chelsea can do on attack and create more chances for themselves.
That's a good point. It'll be interesting to see how Caicedo and Fernández, Chelsea's midfield duo, how they respond to that challenge. They're talented, but they're going to have to be on top of their game to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm.
Absolutely. And another thing that's really interesting, if you look at the head-to-head record between the two managers, Enzo Maresca actually has a slight edge over Mikel Arteta in their previous meetings.
That's true. Tactically speaking, Maresca seems to have a bit of a knack for getting the better of Arteta. It'll be fascinating to see what kind of game plan he cooks up for this match.
I think there will be some surprises, that's for sure. And then, of course, you have to factor in the psychological side of things. The Emirates, it's known for its atmosphere. Those fans, especially during a London derby, they're intense.
Yeah, that home field advantage can give Arsenal a lift, especially in a match as big as this one.
We've looked at the data, and Arsenal's win percentage at home, it's much higher than when they're on the road. That crowd, they can really make a difference.
So we've got tactical battles, mind games between the managers, and a roaring crowd. All the ingredients of a classic London derby.
And that's where Tips Moto comes in. We've given you the knowledge, the insights, the data to help you make sense of it all.
We don't want to just give you predictions. We want to give you the tools to understand the game, to make informed bets.
We want you to be more than just a spectator. We want you to be engaged.
Knowledge is power.
With Tips Moto, you're in control.
So going into this massive London derby, remember that we're here with you every step of the way. So we've covered a ton today. Team news, potential lineups, tactical battles, even the psychological stuff that might give one team an edge.
Yeah, we've really dug deep into the data and all the different trends, and we've tried to show you guys where this match could be won or lost.
But at the end of the day, what everybody wants to know is, where is the smart money going?
And that's what makes this London derby so exciting, right? It's a clash of styles, it's a tactical puzzle. It could go either way.
A real nail-biter, a bettor's dream, right? High stakes, you never know what's going to happen, and you really have to know your football to make a good bet.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. And that's where Tips Moto comes in, right? We're not about just throwing predictions out there. We give you the whole picture, all the information you need to make your own smart choices.
We're like your guide in the world of football betting, giving you all the data and insights you need to make the right moves.
Exactly. Our platform has it all. Deep analysis, historical data, head-to-head stats, and of course, we've got our own expert betting tips.
And we're constantly updating our algorithms, crunching all the numbers, looking at the game from every angle, all so you can get that edge.
So it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned pro or if you're just starting out, Tips Moto is your go-to for everything football betting.
We're here to help you figure it all out, understand the odds, and make the most of this amazing London derby.
So don't wait. Head on over to www.tipsmoto.co.ke and let us be your guide through this massive match.
We'll help you take that passion for the beautiful game and turn it into some smart betting decisions.
Come join us at Tips Moto. It's a whole new way to experience football betting. See you there.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it. Remember to check out Tips Moto for all your betting needs.